Everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Samara.
Hey guys, good to see you. Welcome to Funnel Forging here at Sales Process. Just get everybody inside here. And today we are going to focus on how we deliver a lead magnet. So we've built lead magnet funnels in the past. We have talked about the workflow. We've talked about the pages that are part of a lead funnel. We've talked about the triggers and all of that. But now we're going to talk about how do we deliver a lead magnet. There's a couple of different ways that we can do that inside of sales process. A lot of times a lead magnet will be, and a lead magnet is just something that you're giving away for free in exchange for somebody's name and email address, right? This is how we do our list building if we're trying to build our email list and get contacts. And so we're giving somebody something for free, right? So they give us their name, their email address, and we give them something. And lots of times this is like a PDF, or it can be a coupon. It can be a free 15-minute consultation call, anything that, aligns with your business, you can give away to try and build your list, right? And so we are going to talk about how to deliver those types of things in an automated way so that you don't have to do it manually, right? Inside of sales process. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to dive in. And the way that I'm going to teach tonight or this morning, wherever you are, is based on how I would build it. So I've been building funnels for, since 2017. I've been in the industry building funnels. And so I've built a few. And I have built a lot for clients. And so I have sort of a process that I go through, and the way that I look at it is I look at what are all the pieces that I need before I go and build the funnel. So I like to build the pieces first, then I build the funnel. So inside a sales process, there's two pieces that you have to start with before you go and build your funnel pages, before you set up your automation, anything like that. So we're going to dive in and do that. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So when we talk about lead magnets, for this, I'm going to use two examples. I'm going to use an example of a PDF. So whether that is like a free checklist, or maybe it's a fitness guide, or some sort of PDF format, okay? And then the other example that I can use is a link for them to book a call with me. So say I'm doing a 15-minute consult for free, okay? So for me, I would be delivering either the PDF, or I'm going to deliver the link for them to book a call. So inside of a sales process, there's two things that I need to build before I add them to the funnel. I need a form to capture their information, and I need an email template. So I'm going to start with the email template, and then we're going to build the form. So inside of your sales process account, the place that we go to build our marketing templates is in the marketing menu here. And then up at the marketing menu, you'll see up here you have your social planner, your emails, countdown timers, snippets, trigger links, all of that. We're going to go right to emails, and we're going to go to templates. Now, you should have an email in your sub account that you got that is like a blank template that you can just clone over and over and over again. So I'm going to locate mine. And I'm going to clone it. This one's newer, so I'll clone this one. So I'm going to clone this. I'm just clicking on the three dots here and going to click on clone. And here I'm going to call this my delivery email. Okay. So I'm cloning the template the blank template. And the reason that I clone it is because that makes it so much easier to build than having to build it from scratch all the time, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to go here and I'm going to open up the lead magnet. And here is where the parts of the template that are really important are like your footer here. And these are all elements that you can find inside of the email template builder, which is right here. If you click on the plus sign on the left-hand side, you'll find all of the elements that you need to build your email template. You'll notice here that there is a footer element, and that's what you need right here in your blank template to make your emails compliant. So whenever you're sending out marketing emails, you need to include who you are as a business owner. What's your business name? What's your business address? What's your business email? And a way for somebody to unsubscribe. If you don't provide a way for someone to get off of your email list, then really you are operating in a spammy way, right? You're not giving them the option to continue to receive your email or to stop receiving it. So these are some of the core pieces to being compliant when you're sending email. And then, of course, I like to, yes, Jodine, I see your hand.
Is there a way that you can default, or how do you get to that default? Is that something we can change, or is that on that for the unsubscribe?
This here?
Yeah.
So this is a custom value. So you see how it's highlighted here? And if I open up the link, it's actually a custom value. So you can use this custom value to set up an email unsubscribe. Now, in Canada and in the United States, you must have a one-click unsubscribe to send marketing emails. People must be able to click one time to unsubscribe. Now, you can split this up and you can say, I want that to read. So instead of this, I could put here, update email preferences. And then I could have, or unsubscribe from this list, right? Now I could offer them a link here that I could build on a funnel page with a form to give them options to what they want to receive email for. So let's say they have purchased a product from me, but they don't want to receive any marketing emails. So I can give them that option to receive service emails only. Or I could create options for that they only want to receive a blog post update from me. Or
so then
my latest.
You'd have to use tags on that then, right? I didn't mean to
Exactly.
cut you off there. Okay. Yep. I just want to clarify. All right.
Yeah. So that's something you would have to customize on your end. So,
right. Okay. Well, not everybody in the US and Canada believes or is following the one click because I get so mad.
Yes,
like,
you're right.
There's a law.
Yeah, there is. And they can definitely, they can face fines and they can also lose their email privileges, which can be quite devastating to a business. So it's important to understand in your country and also to the people who subscribe to your newsletter, what are the rules for those people to receive email? So maybe you might be located in Spain, but all your subscribers are in Canada. Well, then you have to follow Canadian email best practices, right? So it's important to understand what the regulations are in your area for this. So this is your footer, right? Here is what we call in this area here is your social icons. So here is where you can build and link your social icons for your Facebook page, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, and you just edit them and you put the URL to your Facebook page here, save it. And then you can also even add more if you want, like if you have WhatsApp or a website, if you have a YouTube channel, you can add that as well, right? So you can add YouTube and then it will add the YouTube icon here. You can change the way the icons look. You're able to style them in different ways. You can change them for however you want them to look. If you like them in color or black and white or gray or just like that, that's up to you. And then here is where you're going to actually write your email, okay? So this always says start from scratch because this is like your template. But what we like to do is we use custom values here so that we can personalize every person's email. And a lot of times we always want to start with the person's first name, right? So here is where we click on this little icon here. Let me make my screen a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Hold on. It's right here and it says custom values underneath my big yellow hand. And when you click on it, it's going to give you a list. And so these are dynamic fields that you can place inside of your email to pull information in from your system. So of course, if we click on contact, you're going to see here there's full name, there's first name. And so we're not going to put their full name in the email. We're just going to address them by their first name, right? So we click on first name and a custom value always looks like this. It's got the weird little curly brackets around it. And then it sort of mentions what it's pulling in. So when we send this email out, this is where their name will be populated dynamically. So when a person receives the email, their email will look a little bit different because it will have their name on it than to somebody else that you sent it to because it'll have their first name on it, okay? So then here's where you're going to type the body of your email. I love ChatGPT for writing emails because I'm not a writer. That is not my thing. But we can always say, you know, thanks for signing up for my, whatever it is, your name of lead magnet. Okay, that's what you want to put in there.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Can you have ChatGPT, and should you on your email do SEO on the base of the email or in your email?
SEO, SEO,
work?
not in emails. Emails don't show up on search engines.
But do your keywords?
No.
Oh,
No.
never mind. I'm thinking something.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
I've been working on my store all day, so my brain is definitely brain dead.
No, that is okay, Jodine. Okay. So, and then of course you can tell them a little bit about your lead magnet, what they can expect to happen if they use it, how they should use it. You want to invite them to reach out to you if you have any questions. You also want to get them in the habit of replying to your emails, right? So maybe you want to ask them a question like, what are you going to use this lead magnet for? Or what's the first thing you're going to do with this PDF or whatever it is? You want to ask them a question to get them to reply. Number one, that's going to increase your deliverability for your email if they respond to your email. That tells the inboxes and the little gremlins that work the email technology that they want to receive your email and that they're replying to you. So that's going to increase your domain reputation. So that's a good thing. We want people to reply. Now you have a couple of different ways of actually sending them the link to the PDF. You can create, so we can have like download here, and we could create a hyperlink just by selecting this and then putting in the name of the link here, right? So if it's, that would be the link to your PDF. So you may have it stored in the media storage file of sales process. You may have it stored on your Google Drive or on your OneDrive. Wherever you store your PDF is where you can grab a link for it and place that link here. And then you can click save. And then this becomes a clickable link. Yes, Jodine.
Sorry, I'm full of questions. With the storage of the PDF, is that under the media when you?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I can show you here. If we go back out of here, you have a media storage file inside of your sales process account. And as of today, as of today's date, there are no additional charges for storage. There are file size limits. So like some, and depending on where it is that you're uploading your information, like in your course area, you have a file size limit of 4 megabytes. Or sorry, 4 gigabytes. And if it's a, like if you have it, something here, you can upload anything, right? This media storage area here, you can connect it to your Google Drive. You can create folders. You can upload anything here. You can upload images, videos, PDFs, photos, whatever you want, you can upload into that. And then when you upload something, let's see, what am I going to upload? I'll upload this. So let's say this is my PDF that I want to deliver. When I'm in my media file, then all I have to do is grab the 3 dots here and I can get the link, copy the link, and then I can go back to my email template and paste that link in. Okay? So I would go back to my marketing, go back to my email templates and paste that link in. So I could replace this with the actual link that I got from my media file. Okay, so that's one way that you can deliver your email or your lead magnet. Another way that you can deliver it, I'm going to make my screen a little bit smaller here so it's not so gigantic, is to put a button in your email. So we can go over here and add a button. So here in the elements, there's a button. I can just drag it over and drop it. And I can style this button. I can, choose it to be a different color. I can change the words on the button to say download here. I can put in my link from my PDF right there. I can move my button over to the left or over to the right or center. I can make it full width. I don't really like that though, so I'll just leave it in the center. You can change the radius of the button. If you don't like a square button, if you'd prefer a round button, you can make it more rounded on the corners. There. And then all that's going to happen when you click the button is we'll show here, we can go and see a preview of what the template looks like. This is how it's going to appear on their desktop. This is how it's going to appear on their tablet. This is how it's going to appear on their phone. And then here, when I click on this button, it takes me straight to that picture that I linked. So that's two different ways that you can deliver your PDF. Okay, you deliver your lead magnet. Another way that you can deliver a lead magnet is to actually have a link to schedule a call with you, right? And again, this is about going and getting so Karen, I know you use Calendly, right? For your scheduling, right? So you would just get your link to your Calendly calendar, and you could drop it here and here, and you could change this to say, book here, or book your appointment here. Oof, I can't spell, right? And then you'd put the link to your calendar here. Okay. Any questions about that?
I have one.
Yes, Jodine.
What if you need to do both? Like you've got a link for the PDF, and then once they complete the PDF, they need to book a call with you. Do you do two separate emails on that, or would you
I
put?
would,
Okay.
because you don't want to give them the link to book the call until they finish the PDF, right? So
Ideally, but I just didn't know.
yeah. I mean, ideally, if it doesn't really matter to you, if they complete the PDF, then you can put both links in there, right?
Does
You
it
can,
does it ding you into spam if you have too many links in your?
yeah, it
Okay.
can.
Okay.
So there's a difference between raw links, which is, okay, so if I am talking about a raw link in an email, this is what a raw link looks like. It's really long and ugly and it's got a bunch of code in it. That's called a raw link. This is called a hyperlink, because what I've done is I've hidden that ugly link in a phrase or a word, or I've hidden that ugly link behind a button. So raw links will set off the spam filters in inboxes. So when you're delivering links, it's always best to either hide them in a button or to create hyperlinks like this to avoid the spam filters. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Awesome. All right. Now, when you are inside of your email template, I just want to show you, where do I set up my subject line? Where do I set up my preview line? When you're setting up your email template, you want to make sure that you go into settings. And this is where you would place your subject line, right? So, now, of course, you're going to want to have your subject line be much more exciting than that, because subject lines are they're like your make or break your email. That's what causes people to open, is your subject line, right? And then you have the opportunity here to also use preview text. And that is that little bit of text that will pop up. It's like a peekaboo text when your email is delivered. So you don't want to make it a big long story in here. You just want to write something with curiosity, like, you don't want to miss this or something, right? Now you'll notice this tag is here. You have the opportunity to personalize the subject line by adding in their first name. You can add in their first name in the subject line. And then
How did you do that? Sorry,
no,
I
that's
missed
okay.
that.
You just click on
Oh, that's
this,
one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks.
and then you can choose what custom value you want to populate in there. And I never, ever, ever fill these out. The reason I never fill them out is because when you set up your sales process account, you created a custom sending email domain. And so the system, if you leave it blank, will always use the correct email address, and you can put whatever you want in the name. Normally, this will just pull whatever you've set up in your business profile as your business name. That's what it'll pull in here automatically if you leave it blank. But you can put whatever you want. The most important thing here is that you use the correct email that you set up when you created your sales process account. It's always going to pull that subdomain that you set up. Yes, Jodine.
You kind of answered it there, because I was thinking, like, if you were going to just try kind of test market, like a side brand, could you change that out? But you kind of answered my question. You have to make sure that you keep that. Okay.
Yeah. If you use a different email domain in here, all your email is going to land in spam because the records don't match.
Okay.
So that's why it's really important. I always encourage you just to leave this blank because the system will put the correct email address in there that you had set up at the time of getting your sales process account, and all the records are set up properly for you. So I would leave this blank for sure. And the system will just populate that. Okay. And then you can just save it. So now we've talked about how we're going to deliver the lead magnet. We've talked about a couple of different ways that we can do that. We can deliver it through the email using a button or a hyperlink here. We also talked about giving them the link to a scheduling calendar, if that's what we're using as our lead magnet, is to give them some time with us, right? So that's how we would deliver the lead magnet. We've now created our email template. Now the second asset that we have to build before we even touch the funnel pages is the form, okay? Every new lead magnet lead funnel needs its own form. So you can clone funnels, right? We can duplicate funnels and then go in and change the text, but we can't use the same form that collects information for one lead magnet as we use it for another lead magnet. Like every lead magnet needs its own form. Okay. So the second ad set that I always build before I go to the funnel pages is I go to sites on the left-hand side, and then I go up here to the form builder. And I mean, you can definitely clone a lead magnet form. If you have one already, you can go in. See, we've got some here. Oh, there's nothing in that folder, but we can look for a lead magnet form. So here's like one that I created a long time ago. Oh, just back in October. What I can do is just clone this, but I shouldn't ever use the same form that I've used for another lead magnet. Because remember how I said every form has to have a automation workflow paired with it. Every form you create has to have an automation with it. And so this form has its own automation. If you use this form in another funnel, it's going to fire off an automation that you don't want to be fired off. It's going to deliver an email about some other lead magnet, right? That you don't want it to be. So let's use this form. We can use this form as a template and we can clone it. So we're going to duplicate it. So I just clicked on the 3 dots here, duplicate it, or I can build a form from scratch. So let's do that. Let's go add a form. When I click on add a form, it gives me the option to build from scratch or to use a template. And we have hundreds, literally hundreds of forms templates in here. So we can go and have a look. If we use a template, you can go and see. There's all these designed templates that are forms, right? And you can even see on the side here, they have industries. They have maybe what they're for. Let's see if we have any lead forms. Yeah, we have lots of lead forms, right? There's a gym lead generator. There's all kinds of forms in here. So you can, if you like the way something looks, you can use that and tweak it, right, to your particular lead magnet.
Is that
Or we can
new?
just,
All those forms is that new?
they keep adding to these all the time, Jodine. They've been around for a long time, but the designs, they add to them practically every quarter.
Because I don't remember seeing all those. I'm gonna have to go check them out again.
Mhm. Yeah, the team adds new funnel designs, website templates, form templates, survey templates. They're always adding new designs all the time. So if you don't find something that you like, make sure you check back often because they're always adding new ones. So we're going to build it from scratch. We're going to go create. And the system automatically will open up into the form builder and it gives you some default fields and you can decide if you want to keep them or not, right? So if it's a lead magnet, lots of times I will just grab their first name and I want to make it as rub resistant is how I say it, rub resistant as possible for them to fill it out. So give me your name and your email. That's all I need, right? So I'll get rid of the last name field. I'll get rid of their phone number. I don't need this consent checkbox here for collecting their information to send them text messages, so I can get rid of that. So all I'm saying is I want to have their email and their name. And then I can even get rid of this here. I don't need that. Whoops. I don't need that policy and privacy terms on there either. When you click on an element on a form, you'll see one has first name and one has email and has a little star. The little star indicates that that's a required field. So if I click on this one, you'll notice that the checkbox over here says required. And it also indicates it with an asterisk. The first name, though, is not required, but I like to always collect the first name because when I send out emails, I always use those curly bracket custom values. And if I don't have their name, then it's blank, right? I don't know what to call them. So I like to have their first name at least. So then I can also edit the button. I can change the color. All the styling and everything is over here. I can, mess with the color and the font and how big is it and what the button says. I can put here, right? Send it to me. Okay. And then I'm going to save it. Oh, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give my form a name so I don't forget what it is. So I'm just going to say March. Okay, so that's the name I'm giving it. And now I have the two assets that I need to build my funnel and build my workflow. So I have all the assets that I need. I have my form and I have my email to send out to them. Okay, so now we're ready to go and populate our funnel pages because the workflow is always the last thing that I build, right? It's always going to be the last thing that I build. So now inside of sites, I'm going to go over to my funnels and I'm going to choose either to clone a previous lead magnet funnel or create a new funnel. Which would you guys like me to do? Do you want to create one from scratch or should we clone one?
Oh, you can clone.
Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to go and find, I had created this one already for this class, but let's clone it and we'll do that. So here I find a lead magnet funnel. And if I look at a lead magnet funnel, it's got two pages. It's got an opt-in page, this home page. I prefer to have it say opt-in, right? So I'm just changing what it says. and then I have a thank you page. So there's only ever 2 pages in a lead magnet funnel. This is where they're going to give me their information, and I'm going to tell them what the lead magnet is, and then this is going to confirm that I received their information. Okay, so I'll go back out here and we'll just clone it. So we click on the 3 dots, we go to clone, and then I'm just gonna give it a number 2 here and get rid of the word copy and then confirm. So now it takes a second for the system just to kind of copy everything over and create that new funnel. But here it is. Here's my new lead magnet funnel. Now all I have to do is go in, and I have to go into the editor. And now I have to place that new form that I created in here. So you can see here, download your free, and here I can put in, right? And then I can change out the images, change out the text. What I've done, what this is here, if we go and if I get rid of this, show you. So what this is there's a row and inside is a column. And now I have to add an element. So I have to add a form element. So I'm going to go and look for my form element, and I drag that over and drop it in there. And then I have to tell the system which form do I put in there. So I want to look for March. That's what I called it, right? March. There we go. So I find the form that I created and I pop that in there. And now it's ready to go. So now I have here my form. The last thing I want to check is when I dropped my form in here, am I telling the system, where does it go after the person clicks on send it to me? Where does it go when they click on the button? And if I look over here on the button actions, it says use action from the form builder. That's not what I want to do. I want them to go to the thank you page. So when they submit their information, I have to tell the system to go to the next step in the funnel, which is the thank you page. Okay, so I have to change that so that the system knows where to go. Then I save that. And then if we take at the thank you page, all the thank you page does is just confirm that their information was, oh wow, that was a lot more skin than I was expecting. Sorry about that, guys. That was a lot more skin. But all this does is it confirms. So you're like, you can put up here, you can say, congratulations. Go check your inbox, right? You know, you can also, on your thank you page, you can invite them to follow you on social media. You can have a video here. You can play a video for them, telling them more about yourself, or, you know, use the real estate on the thank you page to bring them further into your world. That's what I like to do, is to use the thank you page real estate to let them know more about you. Invite them more into your world, whether it's to connect on LinkedIn, on Instagram, come watch this YouTube video, something like that, so that they can get to know you better, faster. Okay, so now we have our funnel set up. We have our opt-in page with our form. We've replaced the form on the page, and we have connected it so that it goes to the thank you page. We've told the system what to do with this button when it's clicked. All right, so now we have our funnel ready to go. And remember, every form needs to be paired with an automation. It needs to be paired with a workflow. So we're going to go to our automations on the left-hand side, and we're going to build the automation for when people fill this form out. So we're going to build this from scratch, go up to create workflow, and we're going to start from scratch. And of course, the first thing we need to do is give this a name. Okay. So the trigger for this workflow, of course, is going to be the form, right? So form submitted is 9 out of 10 times, that's what your trigger is for a lot of workflows. It's the form. It's either the form or the order form. So form submitted, then you have to tell the system which form is it. So the form is, and it's this one here that we put into our funnel, right? We're telling the system it's that one there, and then we're clicking Save Trigger. Now, of course, when somebody grabs our lead magnet, we want to make sure that we tag them. And so a lot of times and your naming convention may be different than mine, but I use LM for lead magnet. And then I'll put the name of the lead magnet here. Okay. And then I also like to put that information. Whoops, I didn't. There we go. And then add new tag. And then I also like to put the tag at the top in the action name so that I don't have to open the action to find out what my tag is that I added. And then click Save. So when they submit the form, automatically it's going to give them a tag. So I know which lead magnet they downloaded. So 6 months from now, I can look at their contact record and I know which one they grabbed. And then we're going to send them the email to deliver the lead magnet, right? So I call this the delivery email. And again, I leave this field blank and I leave this field blank because the system will pull the name, my business name in, and it will pull the proper email address in. Okay. And then here, I'm going to go grab my template that we built. So I'm going to look for the word March. There's my template. So I'm going to pull that in. And as you can see, it shows you a little preview of your template right here. And you can edit the template from in here as well. So I can save this and I can open this again and I can open this email. And what it does is it opens up the template, and if I need to make changes, I can change it. I can change them right in here. If I need to save it as a different template, I can do that here. Or if I just want to keep it the same one, I just save it. Okay? So now when they submit their form, they're going to get a tag. That's how I'm going to be able to identify them in my system as to how they came into my world. And this is how I'm delivering the email or the lead magnet to them. It's right through here. Okay. The last thing that you need to do is we need to publish this lead magnet, and then we're going to save it. And the last piece of all of this is to test it. And the best way to test it is to go and run yourself through your funnel. Put in your name and email. So we'll go do that real quick. And then we'll be able to take a look. I'll show you where you want to look to see if it actually worked. So we're going to go back to our sites. We're going to go to our funnels. And we are going to test this funnel. So the best way to do that is to click on this, and this will take us into the preview. And then we can put our information in. And I'll use one of the million email addresses I own. So first thing I'm testing is...
Sorry, how did you get there?
Oh, sorry. I just clicked. So I'm on the opt-in page and I just clicked on this and it opened up this tab here. So this is like the preview mode. Okay. So one of the things I'm testing is, does the button send me to the thank you page? That's the first thing I'm testing. So I click on the button and it should be taking me to the thank you page. So that takes me to the thank you page. We know that works. That's awesome. The second thing I'm going to test is, was a contact record created for the name and email address that I made? So I'm going to go into my contacts here, and I'm going to actually have to look up probably my email address. Yep, right here. And what I can do here inside of the contact record is I can see, did I get the email? And look, I did not. So what happened? What went wrong? Right?
You didn't do an opt-in, did you? Because if you've unsigned or unsubscribed to that funnel.
I didn't unsubscribe, but this is good that this happened, because then I can show you how to troubleshoot this. So the first thing I do is come and look in the contact record. Did they get the email? This is where all of the communication history lives, right? So there hasn't been an email sent to this person since February 20th. Well, it's March 3rd or March 4th for some people. Depends. And so I need to go back to my automation and see what went wrong. So I'm going to go to my automation. I'm going to go take a look at my workflow. So here's a couple things. I can see here that there was one person enrolled in the workflow. So I'm going to open the workflow and I'm going to troubleshoot what happened. Here we have two places we can look. We can look in the enrollment history and we can look in the execution logs. First place we're going to go is enrollment history, and you're going to see here, here's my name, and it says that it's finished. And a couple of things too I want to point out to you. You can view the execution history from here, and you can also see an actual visual path by clicking on this. So what this does is it lights up all of the triggers and actions that your contact went through. So it looks like the trigger worked, the tag worked, the email is supposedly sent, but I didn't get it. So what happened? So now I'm going to go back to my enrollment history. I'm going to take a look at the execution logs. And here I can see right here, this is all the steps. So it's first is add to workflow. The tag was added. If I click on the details, that was a success. Delivery email. Now there's the error. Why didn't this work? It says insufficient balance to perform email verification. So because this is a demo account, I don't have like a wallet set up where I pay to send emails. So that's why this isn't working. It's because I don't have any money in my account wallet to send email. Now, you guys,
You
that
need
won't
to have
happen
money for that?
to
To
send
send
email?
emails?
Yes. Yeah. Your emails, you get charged for every email that you send. It is less, it's like 0.00675 cents per email. So it's less than a penny per email.
It takes a long time to burn up $10.
See, at $10, you usually get about between 8,000 and 10,000 emails you can send per month. But yes, you do have to have a balance in your account to be able to send emails. So that's why this didn't send, is because I have no money in my account because it's a demo account. And then this says that it just skipped over the email and finished the workflow. But this is how you can troubleshoot workflows. Like if somebody doesn't get an email, how can you figure out why it didn't work? You can come back and trace the exact steps they went through and see different messages here to find out what worked and what didn't. And then, of course, you can always see their contact path in the workflow. And when you have a workflow that's like this tiny, it's not really that difficult to figure out what the contact path was. But sometimes you have workflows that have branches and branches and branches, and it's really hard to know, well, which branch did they end up going down? So it's nice to have that visual that you can go back to say, show me which path they took.
So, Tamara, you will never have money in your test account, would you? So you
No.
can never check whether you actually get the email delivered.
Well, I can shut it off. I can shut having that to have that balance in my account. I can shut that off in the back end if I want. But I can show you if that ever happens to you guys. Do you know where to look to add money to your account?
I
So,
didn't even know it was necessary.
Usually
well,
Sorry.
you get a
it's
notification. So in the upper right hand corner when it says you're out of money.
yeah, you will see a banner if you have no money, it will show up. But down here in your settings, right down here at the very bottom, go into settings. And if you go into billing on the left-hand side, it's going to show you that it's telling me you have to add a payment method. I don't have a credit card on file. So I'm going to take you I'm going to stop sharing for a second and I'll take you into an account that does have a credit card on file. Just one sec. And I'll show you what it's supposed to look like.
While you're doing that, let's say you're sending out 100 emails and you've only got enough money in there for 25. Will it send the 25 and say, hey, you got to redo that? Or does it? That's a
Yeah.
technical question you don't know.
No, I do know. And this is
Oh,
a warning I want to show everybody. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again because this is such a good thing and a lot of people don't know this and it's something that I wish more people knew because if you don't have enough money in your wallet to send out your entire email campaign that you maybe pre-scheduled, 2 weeks ago or whatever, if you don't have that money to send, it will interrupt your campaign and will only send as many emails as you have enough money for. Okay. So there's a trick that you can do and set up in your account. So we're in the billing section, right? If there's a credit card on file, what you're going to do is go into your wallet and transactions. And here you can see any additional charges and download receipts for tax purposes for any additional charges that there might be. Okay? And it will show you the last 3 months. And it gets very detailed. It'll show you, like, there's all these additional charges that you can have. So you'll get, like, email. You would be charged for emails. You can get into very detailed transactions here. But the trick with setting up your wallet is you can have it set up to auto charge and never ever let your balance get below 0. So usually what I do is I'll set my balance for like 10 so that whenever my balance gets to $10, it'll recharge and I'll say recharge it with $25 so that my balance never ever comes to 0 and it never causes an interruption to any of my email campaigns or text message campaigns or any other campaign I'm sending out. I don't have to sit and worry about whether or not there's going to be a service interruption because my wallet doesn't have enough money in it. Okay? So what I do is I would put $10 and then I would put 25 so that when my balance gets below $10, or when it gets to $10, it recharges and adds $25 to my wallet. Okay. Any questions about that? No? And of course, you can also like download this if you need a summary of the charges for your accounting purposes. You can download this, you can refresh it, you can export this information to your accountant, whatever you need to do for tax purposes.
Tamara,
Yes.
could you please get back to the funnel, to the
Yes.
workflow? The
The
workflow.
workflow, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry, I'm in the wrong account
the
here.
automation, yeah, the automation.
I got to get back to my demo account. There we go. Yes.
Okay, so I missed that one, the ad tech. Um, how do I get that?
So all I did was
Oh,
I
okay.
clicked
Contact tech,
on,
because okay, all right. Because I was searching, because I saw ad tech, but in the inside it's called ad tech only. So I was wondering whether there was another one. So okay,
oh yeah,
now
it's
clear.
the same
All
one.
right,
It's this one. Yeah,
all right.
it's the same one. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to, if you allow me, you're talking about PDFs and connection to calendar.
Yes.
Yeah, I asked a question yesterday, but I didn't get an answer from Christian yesterday, so maybe I can ask you as well. So you were talking also that you can add surveys, right?
Yes.
So would it be possible to create a survey that has where it's possible to add up the answers. So, for example, if they have like a score from 0 to 5, and you say take the average of the different answers, and then when they have a certain average, that they
Yeah.
get a certain reply. Is that possible?
So there's two ways to do that, Karen. We have both surveys and we have quizzes inside of sales
Yeah,
process.
I saw that. Yeah.
So you can use a survey. So you can build surveys up here, or you can build a quiz. And quiz, you can assign a score to each question or a weight to each question. And as they move through the questions, you can determine to show them like a results page, which would show them, the three top scores or what category they fall into. So, like, say if it was a fitness quiz, it would be like poor, average, above average, or
Yeah,
something
I
like
saw
that,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Based on how you wanted to weight those questions. You can
Yeah.
definitely do that in the
But
builder.
only three options, right? So like low, average, and high is possible in
Current,
quizzes.
you can add more. You
Oh, you
can add
can.
more. Yeah, so let's go in and see. We'll add a quiz. I'm not sure if we have a template yet. Yeah, we don't have any quiz templates yet, but they're coming. So, of course, we can add we can add multiple choice, right? And you can put your questions on here. And then here, you can decide how many categories. You can add extra categories here. Oh, sorry, I guess you can only add 4. I thought you could add more than that, but it looks like you can only add 4. And then this gets, the options get, or maybe you have to, let me see. Let's put in, Yep. Actually, you can add more because
Oh,
as
okay.
soon as you start giving it, as soon as you give the category a name, then it allows you to add more. And then what you have to do is you have to assign a weight to it, right? You have to assign, like, choose a category. So let's say this is going to be excellent. Let's add another category, average, and add another category is poor. And submit. And then we can assign this one excellent. And if it's excellent, they get 10 points, if that's their choice, right? If it's average, they get 5 points. And if it's poor, they get 1 point, right? And so you weight the answers based on which category it falls in. And then when they go through, you get a result template based on their answers, and you can edit that template. So here it shows you sort of a results. Now, this is still limited in what you can do based on, like, you can definitely change what this says. You know, you can edit that information, but it's still a little bit limited in what you can really showcase on here. So a lot of times what I will do, instead of putting you can definitely show them their score on here. And then what I would also put on here to edit this template, I would also put on here to say, check your email for more information about your results. And I would send them an email based on the results that they acquired with a lot more information in it, because it doesn't give you a lot of room here to put very much information, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look great if you put a whole bunch of text here. Like, it's got it looks really clunky or really cluttered with a lot of text. So you can put more information in an email message to them with the results from the quiz. So, and this can be a bit buggy, this quiz. It's fairly new, the feature. The development team is still working on it. I know we were having some issues with, I'm not even sure if this still will work. Oh yeah, multi drop down is working now. Before, when you were pulling some of these over, they weren't working. But if you run into a bug, please let us know, and we send it right to the development team and let them know as well so that they can fix it. But yeah, we have a quiz feature. And then there is, you know how when you build out an automation and we use form submission for the trigger in the workflow, you can now use quiz submission as the trigger. And then you would build out your automation from there.
Yeah, right. So is it possible then to give them a skill at which they can score? So, for example, from 0 to 5, and that they can actually say at which level they are themselves?
Yeah, for sure. So here, if you want to say, like, you could call this like skill level, and then you could put option 1 would be beginner. Option 2 would be intermediate. And option 3 would be expert, right? And then you would save that as the options. And then when they preview this, if we preview it, let's just, then you can choose, let's say I say I'm an expert and I submit. And then it's going to show me my score here.
Yeah, so that's that. Sorry, yeah, maybe this gets too complicated, but if you have like more categories, so for example, that I asked them about topic A, I asked them a certain amount of questions, and there they have a certain average. Then topic B, I asked them a certain amount of questions, they have a certain average. So can I then overall, adding everything up, give them an average of all categories?
So that would be a little bit too complex to build inside of the quiz,
I would
but we
think
have a
so.
math feature in the automations that you can do math calculations based on their choices inside of a quiz.
I see.
Have you tried AI?
Actually, AI offered me to build it for me, but in a different platform. So then it would be like more like embedding it into the system, right?
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
but if you actually even just gave them the prompt, because that's one of the things I'm doing. I just sent out a PDF on money trauma from your childhood. And so the prompt is set up that however they answer, it goes through, and at the end, it tells them in depth, like their archetype, and that gives them a meditation, and then also how they can, go about their day and kind of heal their childhood trauma. But that's what I did. I did a PDF, and I just realized I copied. I just used another form, so I have to go in right now because I haven't put that live yet, and change that into its own form. Because I was like, oh yeah, I grabbed that other one that I'd already used. So thank you on that part.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Chat GPT that does all the work, and it's going to go more in depth, and it's going to get the answers, and just ask Chat GPT to be a prompt engineer expert, and it will give, and you can just say, this is what I initially have, help me tweak it out. And then it'll ask you, is this good? And you can say, well, I want it to do this. And then you just type that in, and it'll adjust it. And, a couple of tries, and you'll have the right prompt that you need.
And I think, Karen, for what you're wanting to do is you actually want it to perform the math functions based on the choices that they make inside of your quiz, right?
Yeah.
And so to do something like that, let's just go proceed here. I can show you, like inside of workflows, if we just open, I'll just open a workflow, and even if we look at this one here. So here you have the opportunity to do math. So there is a math operation action here. So you can say you have to have a custom field that would be assigned to their, say, quiz score, right? So you'd want to choose a custom field, and then you'd, let's say this, instead of course points, it's quiz score. So I can add or subtract, multiply or divide. So let's say I add 20 points, and I'm going to update their course point field by adding 20 points here. The thing is that what you would do here is you would put in a condition, and you would say if else, and you'd want to say, like here it would be, what is the answer? Oops, I got to put it up here. What is the answer to question number 1? And then you would put your answer 1 here. Answer 2 would be here you would say contact details. And we're going to go back. Why is that being weird? I want contact details, and I want custom fields. Okay, so then let's say application for. So let's see what's their question, and the answer is beginner or something, right? And then you can add the answer to, and choose another custom field. with a question. Expert. Okay, so just to show you an example. So then you would say, okay, if they answered number one, if the answer to number one was this, then I'm going to add this many points to their, like you would have to create a custom field for the quiz points, right? So then here I would add, let's say if it's beginner, I just want to add 10 points. And then over here, you would copy this, copy it here, and this one, because it's a different answer, they'd get different points. And then you can base it, you can send them a different email, right? So you can have it check all of the questions and assign a score to all of their answers. And then at the end, you deliver their email based on their score. Does that make sense, Karen, or is it?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
I'm thinking very deeply now how to do it all, but thanks. Yeah. And then I know, like, I can try to figure it out. Yes.
Yeah. So it does take a little bit of like maneuvering because number one, you're going to have to make like a custom field for your quiz points, so that you have some place to put the score, right? And then once you have the score, you can just keep adding points to it using the math function. And then just based on, you can do like a if else, you could do another condition and say, is the math score greater than or less than a certain amount? If it is, send them this email. If it is less than this amount, send them this email. So you kind of have to like think about what are the segments going to be? What are the score options going to be? What are the ranges going to be for the quiz, right? You know, if their
You can
score
also
falls
add up
between,
questions, right? You can add up the questions. And
yes, you can add up the questions.
and
That's right.
also like divide it by the number of questions if you wish to.
You can
Or
do
you
that
can,
as well.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can build it quite complex if you want. You can, but once it's built, it'll run like a well-oiled machine. It's just figuring out all the steps to put in place there.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great that it's possible.
Yes.
It's a good
Yes.
starting point.
Yeah.
Now we need to do the work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So it's just about I'm going to move this back here so I can get rid of this. Yeah, it's just about, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take a great big piece of, you know, that big teaching paper that you had when you're, I don't know, like when you were in school, and I'll draw out the workflow, like, because I'm such a visual learner that I have to draw it out before I can really plan it out on inside the software like this. I kind of have to draw it out and see what it's going to look like. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
one
a
of my
great
favorite
suggestion.
things to do. I love to do it. It's like a big puzzle to me. So
I can see you doing that.
I know I'm a nerd.
We're gonna
Oh my
send
goodness. You guys, it's
Thanks.
7:15. I'm sorry I took so long. I apologize.
It's
So
also my fault. I'm so sorry.
no, I don't like to eat up anybody's time. So I will quickly say for your homework. So we really talked about the two assets that we had to build for the lead magnet. So what I would like to see for your homework for the Facebook group is a screenshot of your email template that you built. So just take a screenshot of that template, and it'll just be a screenshot of the template that you built and a screenshot of the form that you built, the two assets that we needed before we even started our building our funnel. Just those two. Post those in the Facebook group with the hashtag sales process wins. And I thought they were making the draw on Friday for February. Did anybody see? Did they make the draw yet?
They
I did not.
announced all the
Did they?
extras that they'd done, but I didn't see where they had announced the winners yet.
Okay, so that's got to be coming here pretty soon. So yeah, because we are head first into March already. So I
I
can't
just
wait
have
to see who found out. Yes, Jodine, go ahead.
just real quick on the store.
Yes.
Did we ever come up with the way that it is organized? You know, like when you look at your products, how does it determine the order that it's laid out on? Is that where?
So it is determined by how, which is still a real big pain in the butt because you can't reorganize them. So it's how they are appearing in your payments. So I'll show you just because this is how they appear in your payments right here.
So in your
It's
product of
in this order. And what it does is if you don't have all of your products turned on to be visible in your online store, it will go to the very first one that you have it turned on in. That'll be the first product that it shows.
so if you have to make a change, you have to delete everything.
It's a real pain in the butt right now.
Okay. And then one other, are you in the store right now?
I'm just in payments right now.
Okay. Can you go, actually it's in the product. So if you can you click on a product?
Sure.
All right. So you have the description, scroll down. Is there one that for the tax? I can't, let's see. Right there.
Tax here. Yes.
Okay. Will you explain as per global? What is that?
Okay. So your global settings, they live in your payments, in your settings here. These are your global settings. These are your global tax settings. So you can set up a tax rate, but this will be charged if you set the product to recognize this as the global tax setting, it will charge that amount. Doesn't matter if the customer is in your country or not, or in that state or not. It will choose that global tax setting. And it only works for, oh no, that's not right. Dynamic tax only works for the United States. Still. Does that
So
make sense?
yeah. So for my product, it's only charged tax if they live in the state, and so the state's Oklahoma. Is there a way that you can set that up?
Yeah, so here,
No.
it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be by your global tax then. So if we go to your global tax settings, here, you would turn include tax in prices. You can decide that. Okay, then enable automatic sales tax. This here allows automatically calculate sales tax during checkout. And it looks for the tax category and the nexus address for the states you want to collect taxes in.
So that's that one that we looked at that had like 62.
That's for shipping. We looked at that had 62.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm getting confused. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is for taxes, so that's different.
So then how would I note that we would only want Oklahoma?
That you only want to sell to people in Oklahoma? Or you only
we
want
only
to
collect? We only have to collect tax in Oklahoma. If it's shipped out of state, you don't have to collect tax. But if they live in the state of Oklahoma, then they got to collect tax.
So then you would turn this on, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to choose your tax category. So would it be, is it like ammunition?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are we going to figure out there?
I don't even see that as a.
I probably have to do
I would
something.
check with an accountant on that one.
Yeah.
When it comes to taxes, my eyes cross. But this again, here you have, so here you're going to check your nexus state. So this you would check for Oklahoma, right? So LMN, Oklahoma. There you go.
So what does Nexus mean then?
That's what the system uses as the software to be able to recognize which state the buyer is in.
Okay. So now how do we still figure out that it's just the ones in Oklahoma that are getting taxed?
Because you've assigned it here.
But you said that's where it's shipping out of. The Nexus is.
No. This is where the buyer lives.
Oh, the buyer. Okay.
The buyer.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. Yep. Okay. Now that makes sense. All right.
So that's in your settings in your payments here.
Settings and
Okay.
payments. Okay. All right. Got it. So those were my hang-ups for the day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. It was so good to see everybody. And
Thank you so much.
we
Thank
are
you.
back on Thursday. I'm hoping by the time Thursday rolls around, we know who won so that we can do some celebrating next time I see you. For all of everybody who's been participating in the homework challenge.
I think we should, if they don't have it listed, we all win. How's that sound?
I think
Top
that's a great idea.
You make that post, okay?
I wish I had the power. All right, you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys on Thursday.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.